Most agents treat open houses like they're some kind of chore. They get there right when it starts, unlock the door, sit on the couch. They hope that someone shows up. But the best agents, on the other hand, they treat them like a lead generation campaign. Because when you do it right, one open house can fuel your pipeline for months to come. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it the right way. Starting with the first thing you've got to do, which is you've got to select the right property. This is the single most important thing that's going to make or break your open house, because most agents, they get it wrong before their open house actually even starts. So single biggest variable is you've got to choose a property that is newly listed on the market, and it's got to be something with your own brokerage. Newly listed means you're going to drive traffic from buyers who are actively searching in the market but haven't yet seen this one property because it just became available. So that is your target traffic. People that are already in the market, people that are motivated, that have been looking, that maybe have missed out on other opportunities. Your open house is the first chance that you have to get in front of them in person. Fact is, when you're holding an open house for another agent in your brokerage, you're representing the house because you're a part of the firm that's representing it. But that's going to put you in a strong position to connect with other people that are in the market who you haven't yet been in front of. So it puts you in a strong position if you utilize that correctly. Now, you want to also, if you can, choose a high traffic location. I'm talking corner lots, subdivision entrances, close to the builder's model home, where they're going to be advertising and driving some more traffic your way as well. You want the car that drives by that sign to notice yours and head your direction. And if you do not have a listing that fits all that criteria, look at all the active listings in your office by other agents in your office. Some will be excited to have you host an open house for them and not have to worry about themselves, especially agents that have a lot of listings all at the same time. And honestly, not everyone loves doing open houses. So if you're just trying to break into the market, you're going to find your opportunity if you speak with enough people. Ultimately, it's got to be something within your own brokerage. If you're with a brokerage that sells a lot of property, that shouldn't be an issue because your brokerage should have a lot of listings. So there's always going to be a property available for you to lock in and host if you're looking at all those options. Second variable that's so critical, most people absolutely drop the ball here, is you've got to have a compelling offer. And that's the one thing that's going to convert your foot traffic into actual leads. Without a compelling offer, you might as well just be spinning your wheels and wasting your time. Because getting through the door is step one, but that's going to happen as long as you choose the right property that's been newly listed. But converting those people that walk into the door into engaged contacts, that's a whole nother thing. And that's the whole point of you even being there in the first place. So a compelling offer is going to be the reason why they give you their contact information willingly, and their correct contact information at that. Not just because you asked, not just because you said it was required, but because they want what it is that you're offering to them. So a couple examples just to get your gears turning on this are: one, a free list of foreclosures, bank-owned properties, or vacant listings in the area. This is something that people can get access to immediately on the spot through you if you get their correct contact information. That way you can send it, text it directly to them. It creates curiosity, and it works if you position that correctly. Vacant homes are especially powerful, and you can let them know at the open house, these are homes that are empty. Someone is paying the mortgage on it while it's empty and they're not living there. And if you drive by any of them, and you want to see something, reach out, call me, and I'll meet you there. Now you got a reason for them to connect with you within hours of you hosting that open house. So that's just one example of what I mean when I say you got to have a compelling offer. And this offer is what's going to be the separator from an open house where you just hand out a few business cards and collect a few contacts on your sheet, versus one where you actually build a pipeline of engaged contacts that actually are excited and looking forward to staying in touch with you based on that added value that you bring that they're interested in getting more of. Now, the third variable is you want to use it as a marketing opportunity. You can drive traffic before the door even opens. It's up to you to do that. But the first thing is signs, right? So we all know you got to have an open house sign. But But I'm going to tell you, to drive traffic, you've got to have a minimum of 25 signs. But the more the merrier. 30 is better. 50 is even better than that. And you got to go with a bright color. Go with yellow, black, directional. Go with bright red if you're not going to go with the yellow ones, but it's got to have a compelling message on it. It's got to have arrows driving traffic in off of the main road, ideally one that has high traffic. And you got to put a bunch of signs out off that main road pointing into the neighborhood. And then you've got to have signs on every single corner. Someone should be able to come off the main road and very easily be able to follow the directional signs to find your open house. And if they can't do that, then you don't have enough you don't have enough signs driving traffic directly to the house. And you want to put out the signs early. You know, if you're hosting an open house on Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, they got to be out early in the morning. Better yet, I mean, honestly, the earlier, the better. And beyond the signs, you can go door to door. Door hangers are great. You can print out a bunch of door hangers driving traffic from the neighborhood, and it's super easy in most neighborhoods to go door to door and just leave a hanger on the door. It doesn't take much time, especially when you're not knocking, but you could knock as well if you prefer. But door hangers are going to be the most bang for your buck to cover as many doors as possible. Circle prospecting the homeowners nearby is another option, so you can pull a list and hit the phones and invite people out to the open house. I'm not going to cover the dialogue for that here, but there are ways that you can approach that where you'll have a positive conversation with most people you talk to. You can have a Facebook event where you're posting it and promoting it in local groups. And you can also reach back out to your existing database of unconverted buyers that you've spoken with in the months past and invite them out to it. Let them know that you'll be there, and it's going to be a great opportunity to check out the home, connect with you. It's going to give you a legitimate reason to re-engage with the people who went quiet in your database. So you got an opportunity to put some legwork in that is going to fuel you to have even more conversations, and you can create some new opportunities just from the reach out you do up to that point. So every open house at bare minimum is going to be a reason for you to call 20 people who you have been meaning to follow up with. The next thing you got to understand is to run the open house properly. Like, you have to have a dialed in check-in system. You've got to have either a sign-in sheet or an iPad out with a simple survey where you're collecting real names, emails, and phone numbers. And you need to give them a compelling reason for them to give that to you willingly. Because yeah, you can require them to sign in, but then all of a sudden, if people stop leaving their phone number, it kind of starts a trend where other people follow what the people that were before them will do. So you've got to have a game plan to where you're going to be sure that you're getting people's correct contact info as a rule. And the free list is going to be a reason to do that. So have your list dialed in, have your offer super dialed in, have a couple different offers for different people. Part of the group you're going to get is people actually in the market to buy a home. Others that will stop by are going to be people that live in the neighborhood. So what would be a compelling offer for each of those two groups of people? And you have an opportunity too to ask some insight on what they're looking for, when they want to be in a home buy, figure out whether or not someone's already helping them with that or not. And by the way, I got a tip for that. Stick around to the end. I'll give you the tip on how to really figure out whether or not they have an agreement in place with an agent. Now, when you hand them, like if you're delivering your offer on the spot, I would recommend having it in the form where you could text it to them on the spot. That way you can get their actual contact info. If you have everything printed on the spot that you could deliver to them, like you could have a couple things printed on the spot, but don't have everything, because then they might not have a reason to give you their actual contact. Your job inside the house is not to sell that specific home. It's to have genuine conversations with people walking in and understand where they're at in the process and position yourself as the expert who listens and also delivers on something of value that not necessarily every single agent they've met up to that point has offered to them. So do not sit on the couch, be present, be warm, be curious. Every person who walks through that door is a potential future client opportunity if you handle that conversation correctly. There's someone you can add to your database and potentially have an opportunity with either now or in the future. Ultimately, the last part is where the actual dollars are made, which is in the follow-up. Most agents lose the open house the day after, not because they didn't have anyone stop by, but because they just didn't follow up fast enough, or consistently enough to win the business of anyone who came through the door. So same day or the next morning, you want to text every single contact, something simple and low pressure, like something like, hey, I really appreciate you stopping by. Should I reach out if something similar pops up in the neighborhood or surrounding area? That one question is going to reopen the dialogue without any pressure. And then you want to do a follow-up call the day after. Ask them what stood out to them. Ask them if the home helped clarify what they're actually looking for, and listen more than you talk. That's a big key. And the leads who are not ready to buy this week, you got to understand they're not dead leads. They go into your database, and you should have a plan on how you're going to stay in front of them from that point onward. Because one open house, it can close, it can result in deals closed 6 months later if you have the right follow-up system in place. So as I promised earlier, I want to give you a way that you can figure out who actually is working with an agent and who isn't. So instead of asking them if they're working with an agent, ask, who is your local realtor? Pause. Don't say anything. If they can't give you a name on the spot, do you think they really have an agent? It's too easy to say yes to the other question. And most people make that mistake. It's a swat away question. It's like walking into Best Buy and immediately you get swarmed. Hey, what are you here for? What can we help you with? And you're like, oh, I'm just looking because, I mean, are you really, do you ever go to Best Buy because you're just looking? I mean, come on. But we don't want to be pressured and convinced by some sales guy. Usually we want to do our own research, and that's kind of how people feel when they walk into your open house. So don't let them swat you away. Hit them with that question. They're not going to be expecting it, and they're either going to give you a name or they're not going to give you a name. But that's how you can figure that piece out of it. Now, I want to let you know, if you've been running open houses up to this point but haven't been getting much out of them, just know that the open house itself is not the issue. It's your system and approach to it. So if you can change your approach and strategy, that's where your results can be something different than what you've experienced up to this point. You want to run it more like a marketing campaign, and it's going to become one of the biggest and most reliable lead generation tools in your entire business, especially if you apply what I shared in this video and then host open houses consistently from here on out, at least once or twice a week, if not more often than that. And I'll tell you, I've got a partner of mine out in Southern California, very competitive market, newer agent coming off his rookie year. And he recently hosted an open house where he had 130 visitors amongst 50 groups, group being part of the same group that came through. But of that, I mean, he got more leads than he could even handle, but 5 of them were really hot opportunities that he was working to set appointments with in the days that followed, which that was actually just this past week. So I know he's already converting business from it. But point is, this is someone that I actually taught how to do an open house before he had ever hosted one before. And now that's just his standard. Whenever he hosts one, as crazy as that might sound, that's the kind of results he sees with it. But anyway, if you want some more insights on what I do to help my partners, I welcome you to connect with me. You'll see some resources in the description. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram at my name, at Tyler Roicki. DM me on there. And if you do, I'd love to hear more about where you're at in the business currently. How have the open houses gone for you? What was your biggest takeaway? And I want to know how it helps you going forward, especially. So connect with me. I might just have an additional resource to share with you if you do. In the meantime, please continue to enjoy the videos on the channel. My goal is that it would help you increase your production. I mean, if you're a producing agent, I want to help you at least double your production just based off the information I share freely on this channel. And maybe there's some kind of way we could collaborate in the future. But in the meantime, keep watching the videos, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.